traditional right now on 11.13, locking the Xin Zhao right alongside with it.
I do like the Xin Zhao, at least, picked up for FPX and Tien. I feel like it's a perfect pick for the way that FPX want to play around the jungle. But yeah, as you said, kind of interested in what the rest of the composition is going to fit for that Kai'Sa. The Kog'Maw gets locked in. We just got an update saying that it's iBoy's birthday. Well, what better birthday present for an ADC than a Kog'Maw Lulu bot lane?
And it's his first time bringing it out so far this split, so iBoy wanting to be someone to step up, maybe not having a lot of fear into FPX's composition with the fact that both Nocturne and Akali are taken off the table. I feel like we started seeing Kog'Maw Lulu struggle in LPL after being banned the first 2 weeks outright, when teams would just pick the Akali, the Nocturne, the Rumble, these sort of picks into it that can blow it up before the Lulu Ultimate and Lulu Shields can come out, and don't have a hard time of closing distance. They're either assassins who can very easily get on top of Kog'Maw, or they're like the Rumble as well back then, where you drop the equalizer from a whole screen away. So without those sort of things to worry about, maybe RA feeling a lot more comfortable just bringing out the spot lane.
I'm sorry to distract for one more moment. I got to give an actual happy birthday to iBoy. Not just gloss over the fact that it's his birthday and he gets Kog'Maw Lulu, but happy birthday to iBoy, being able to have some pretty crazy performance on his birthday here as well. Maybe looking to take that in the game number 3 as we're halfway through picks and bans. Yes.
If you're wishing for a happy birthday for iBoy, does that mean you want the days of the FPX players to be bad? Because if iBoy's birthday is good, that means he wins.
You're putting words in my mouth, all right? Just because I said one side of it doesn't mean I mean the other side of it either. All right, Lyric?
Oh my God, I'm a Twitter person. I'm a Twitter casual.
Oh no,
what am I doing?
What do we do?
I'm being a Redditor.
Oh no.
But you know, Mazel, draft is happening.
Yeah, that's where I was trying to lead us, but not Reddit and Twitter. We have Nidalee and Diana banned away by FPX as Karma finally gets banned away by RA, and we're waiting on the last ban. It's actually going to be Doinby's Galio.
And a little bit surprised to see the Diana and Nidalee bans coming out against RA. I think RA's comp definitely makes more sense with if they wanted to bring out something like a Trundle again to go into the Xin Zhao, have a bit of peel in a sense with the pillar to set up for the Kog'Maw, and then just put all your resources into playing for iBoy. We're gonna see the takeaway come out from RA as well. They are going to pick up the Orianna. It's something Doinby knows quite well. Put a lot of time and effort into practicing and playing this champion in the LPL and in solo queue in 2020. He has pulled it out once so far in their last series against LGD. He didn't die, so he sells a perfect KDA on the champion, and RA bringing out the Trundle that we expected.
And a little bit of a chance to show up Fofo after that great performance on the Orianna last game. I do like the Trundle lock-in for RA. I would even like this even more if we do get the Sylas. It'll be the first time we've gotten a Sylas of the night, mostly banned away, and it does get locked in for RA. A very nice piece to be picked up here. A lot of versatility in that pick. And now you get the counter pick for FPX. You get the final pick of this series. And it looks like it's going to be a solo lane grab up for Nuguri as well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just decides to lock this one in. I'll be honest, I think I like RA's comp quite a bit more than what FPX have, just because is thematically more, has more synergy thematically. There we go. That sentence makes sense.
You know, I was hoping you were going to go more better, but you know.
Oh, God. They have a bunch of champions that are able to play around and peel for this Kog'Maw. You have Sylas, who I think is incredibly strong. Now, not really any amazing ultimates to take away. I mean, the Nautilus one definitely is going to be the standout for Fofo to find that impact. I like Lilien's pick. We've seen how it can kind of dissuade the Xin Zhao earlier on. You have the stats to steal away from the Nautilus as well. You have a lot of immobile champions, which is something Nautilus is good into. And then you got Reset City. So there's like a lot of decent things on the side of RA to where for FPX you have comfort picks coming out, right? We have the Kai'Sa, which I don't think really makes sense in the context of the rest of the comp where you have a Jason and Orianna, but Yeah, it is comfort all across the board for the side of FPX, maybe barring Tien on the Xin Zhao. And we're going to get to see how they perform this time around, especially if Doinby's able to get the pressure in this mid lane matchup where he's on the Orianna this time around. He has the Xin Zhao, so really strong dueling jungle. Going to be phenomenal to like allow Tien to be able to do as he pleases and set up for a much better early game than FPX got in game 2.
Tien and Nuguri definitely the sword for FPX in this third game, whereas the insurance policy across the rest of the map is where things could shine later on. I'm really looking for FPX to get involved as a group once we get to that mid game, you know, 15-20 minute mark or so. Let's see if that's where they really shine. Across the other side, though, you do have a lot of scaling through that Kog'Maw, Lulu. You do have a lot of strength in skirmishing as well. I feel like the early butting heads of these junglers and the tie-ins of the solo lanes is where we're really going to have the bread and butter.
Yep, going to have the bread and butter. Gonna be interesting to see, but still, I think I'm more interested in seeing how Rare Adam execute on this
composition. Oh my god, that's amazing! I love it.
You know, speaking of that Nuguri picture, shout out to Munchables, because, you know, he told me that this matchup is, you know, the Raccoon, which obviously Nuguri versus Budget Zoom, so even got some rhyming power there, which, to be fair to Q, I want to point this out, this is my own opinion, I don't think Budget Zoom is an insult by any means. I think Budget Zoom is actually quite a compliment. I think a lot of people would do well to be Budget Zoom, but
yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. But as we do get on to the Rift, we do have the Sylas versus Orianna matchup, something where, I mean, traditionally a lot of people favored the Orianna into this matchup quite heavily. Then we saw in LPL last split that a lot of people felt fine taking the Sylas into it. I still feel like an isolated 1v1, Orianna does quite well in the matchup. That's why we see the fleet footwork coming out from Fofo. And the Shockwave isn't really even that incredible to take for the Sylas, right? You have to take it, abscond abduct into the fight, and then try and find an amazing Shockwave, so typically not going to get multi-man, but Fofo still shouldn't fall too far behind.
Yeah, it's hopefully, at least at this point, with the way that this series has gone, I want to see a slaughter fest at like 40 minutes. We're just getting neck and neck team fights, ADCs popping off, just maybe because I'm an ADC main. But on the just wanting to see the full fruition of what this series can give us, right? We've seen one dominating game from FPX. We've seen a pretty dominant performance from Rare Adam. Now this is where everything comes to a head. This is where everything is laid on the line, at least for this series in particular. And I want to zoom back out and look at what we've talked a lot about and where we put a lot of the focus. This mid lane showdown is huge. It's now a Sylas versus an Orianna. A lot of potential to come out of that mid lane, but it's also evolved to where we've seen a lot of focus to Luyen and Tien. And towards this bot lane even. We've seen fighting across the board, and it's just where things kind of, the dominoes fall, if you will, early on for both of these teams.
Yeah, we haven't seen the same amount of just, I'd say, 1v9 performances needing to come out from the mid laners. Like, sure, Fofo especially, right, getting MVP last game, performing extraordinarily well, doing me in game 1, picking the facilitating role, but exactly, hasn't had to be the same. And even this game, I'm kind of looking at the junglers as well and how they can impact these matchups, because I think for RA, as Sylas and Trundle, you have a very easy time of trying to blow Doinby's flash, right? You drop the Trundle pillar, Abscond Abduct comes out, Doinby will need to flash. That's all you need in that matchup to try to alleviate some of the pressure coming out. And then we could see that Luyen does want to play more around bottom side because he does have iBoy on the Kog'Maw. You don't really need to look for ganks or anything, as long as he does have that vision down to protect them from any ganks, because you do have an Enchanter support, so you are a lot more fragile of a bot lane to something like a Dredge line coming out and then Tien being able to follow up. So I think for RA, that's the plan I'd like to see. Put some attention around mid, try and get Doinby's flash to ease Fofo's suffering in melee versus range matchup, and start playing around that bottom side.
Chunyi already getting out. Oh, top lane. Nuguri almost gets taken out on the return by Cube, but very, very heavy trades. Flash burned by Cube as well. So at least there's something going FPX's way early on.
Yeah, FPX, I mean, Nuguri stepping up big, especially this was another thing we were looking out for today where he gets subbed out, doesn't perform the best up against BLG, comes in, I'd say has had a bit of hit or miss between game 1 and game 2, and then coming in, doing a really good job against Cube in that early exchange. Again, sadly, not really getting to highlight too much on the wave states and the trade coming out from the top side, but you got both summoners. You're gonna be able to keep pushing in, but oh, we have a big brawl, looks like, in the mid lane.
Oh, it's so close to being set up here. Shuni on the roam yet again. He's trying to get involved with the rest of the team. Tien was up here as well, just trying to clear out some of his side of the jungle, but we'll find Luyen. Let's have the triple knockup available. The slow coming as well. Tien moving forward. The ball support is there. Is first blood gonna go? Shoot! No, it's actually to Doinb. And Fofo might be on the back end of the trade, but actually gets away with a beautifully timed flash over the wall. But it's still first blood to FPX.
Seeing the impact coming out from Shuni's Nautilus coming out. We know engage supports, tank supports, a lot more impactful when they make these roams. Hung finally deciding he needs to make his way over with the action coming out. Fofo, though.
Nice moves from Doinb, and that's the follow-up. That's the double. They do get one in return, but that's 3 kills for FPX.
And now we're starting to see the super carry Doinb coming out. This is the performance we've been waiting for. Taking advantage of the over-aggression coming out from Rare Adam, sure. But overall, Doinb's the one who finds the play. We're gonna see how this happens once again. Goes for the cube. Fofo steals away the shockwave himself. Loses the abscond abduct. Uses a shockwave. Looks like Fofo didn't even use his until the very end to pick up the last kill, but still. Doinb able to get it, and now going to be sitting on the Oblivion Orb, has tier 2 boots as well. That's going to be really massive. And now we're going to get to see how much work Doinb can do in this matchup where he's 800 gold up.
Hey, I was saying he wants a little revenge against Fofo's Orianna from last game where he had such a good performance. He's setting up just nicely here already in the early points of this third game. Got to keep the pressure up, got to keep that momentum going, and especially the combination of that mid and jungle, especially when you have the combination that is the shockwave with the Xin Zhao. You will see the aggression continuing to be put on by Tien as he goes for an invade. And across the map, I was looking to see if maybe Xunyi was going to try to get back on the roam timer, but the pressure down bot lane is a little too heavy. Now we do have the roam timer top, though. The FPX were looking to potentially go for a dive on a cube, not going to find the timing on it.
I also like how what FPX did, at the same time they were coordinating their invade top side, they had LWX and Shani walk over to Gromp, take that away, check blue, and like they were expecting Luyen to make that play, right? As, oh, it doesn't look like he's going to
really
be caught.
nice.
Oh, he actually gets away. I'm surprised.
That was really cheeky there. I like it. The mechanics are at least there for Luyen, but yeah, not going to be able to find the catch out. Meanwhile, iBoy able to secure a decent amount of plate gold down there for the Kog'Maw. Tien makes the move onto the Rift Herald.
And this has been pretty much a defining factor of the series, right? We have not seen a lot of head-to-head fights in the early game. It's pretty much has consistently been trades and cross-map plays coming out from both teams in the series. And we've been defined by later dragon fights, that come around the 15 to 20 minute mark. So a bit sad to see. LWX.
He had to flash.
Isn't going to go
So
down.
close. iBoy almost going down himself. What is up with the turret aggro in this third game? It is just dropping health bars as we see Tien finally securing that Rift Herald. Maybe actually looking to just take it straight mid. Fofo in some trouble under tower. I would expect to wait a little bit longer for that to come down. Doinb in some trouble now, though. Might be looking to get over the wall. Doesn't have it. And the Crescent Guard comes out from Fofo. Tien all by his lonesome now in a 1v3, and he gets taken down as well. We're right back in it. A double kill for Luyen.
And I mean, we saw Doinb just getting caught off guard by Fofo looking for the all-in and Luyen coming from behind. On the opposite end, though, Cube coming to guarantee those kills can happen. is in a losing position so as to give over some CS and just lose more damage on his turret. I feel like for Cube's situation, he's like been losing and gonna be losing regardless, so just trying to find a way to be involved on the map and help guarantee some of these kills go down as Fofo's roaming over.
He's baiting Nuguri in. That's his idea now. You just get Fofo the gold on the Sylas, but we're gonna see a bit of the pro view action from Fofo's point of view here when they caught out Duinbi.
Yeah, it goes in, has the W come in to get in range to get the Abscond Abduct, goes out, Loyan secures that first kill, and then with Cube coming in, sadly for Cube actually, he didn't even get an assist on that second kill either, so just kind of wasting time and losing CS and EXP for no reason, but still giving his teammates some moral support to help and make sure they get the kills. And then this is what we were highlighting earlier, is that even when plays are coming out on the opposite side of the map, LWX and Shani making sure they don't fall too far behind and stopping Lil Yen from being able to come in, counter jungle, steal away these camps, and get an EXP lead for himself. So LWX, despite being down quite a bit of gold from plates, not really too far behind in terms of the CS.
We're seeing the big focuses, at least for both these teams, coming out and playing out on the mini-map here. We're seeing very much so. It's like ships passing in the night. You're getting occasional fights. You're getting, 6 kills across 11 minutes or so. But it's both teams focusing different places, right? You're getting a lot of top lane, top side focus from FPX TN consistently going up that way as they found advantage for Nuguri. And then on the opposite side, trying to get this bot lane, trying to get this mid lane ahead. Now we're getting the fighting coming in. Luyen already took a fight, but he might have gone a little bit too far. Wild Growth has to come out. The depth charge also used by Fofo. Accelerated Shock Blast, not going to find the kill, but FPX find the advantage in the fight.
Still not able to turn into anything. Maybe they could try to turn it into a kill on iBoy. He is flash and heal up, so looks like he'll be fine, but you're not in a position to take any turrets. Dragon's not up. Mazan, I'm just ready for some game-breaking action. I'm ready for some action like Game 2, where we knew at the 10-minute mark, like 99.9999% how the game was going to end up. We just kind of gave, FPX the good vibes of like, hey, we'll give you that 0.1% that you could pull it back.
This time around, very much a different story. I feel like you still do have a pretty hefty lead, at least for what we've had has happened so far on the Rift. To be 2.5k in the lead for FPX is pretty nice, and that's all through solo lane advantages, and especially that top lane, mostly that top lane, if you will.
Oh, wow.
And so that's where the big focus has come from FPX. That's why we've seen TN consistently visiting that top side of the map.
I mean, right? He got 5 plates all to himself. The 30 CS lead definitely impressive, but 5 plates all by himself, going to be able to help steal away jungle camps in the meantime. Probably going to give this one to Duinbi, as we do see here. And now they're going to be able to just keep invading on Luyen, forcing him off this.
The Crescent Guard is there. It's actually going to be used by Fofo, but Luyen is already dead. FPX find another kill. They'll go up at 4-3 now over RA.
Solo lane gap is what we wanted to see from either of these teams. Whichever team was going to win today, I think we were looking at solo lanes and how they would be able to influence the matchup. Nuguri in Game 2, I think, had a solid performance overall, but this time around coming in, being such a huge force and giving FPX the pressure and the priority to play this domineering style. We've already hit on Duinbi, and now this is going to be an easy dragon for the side of FUT+ Phoenix.
Will be their first dragon of the game, picked up here for themselves. Still 30 seconds for plates. I was gonna see if LWX wanted to continue to press up there, but probably a good idea to go ahead and back off, reset for FPX, and look towards the next objectives. Look towards that map control, as we've seen Nuguri just consistently at least taking the side lanes, taking this top lane, keeping up like that 30-40 CS differential over Cube.
And I'm also looking at the opposite side of the map, though, right? Because iBoy does have a bit of a CS lead over LWX. And this also brings us back to a point in draft of, like, kind of questioning the Kai'Sa pick. And we know why they picked Kai'Sa, right? It's LWX's most comfortable champion. It's his best champion. It's just something they want to get him onto where he can perform well. But we're even in a situation where it doesn't matter how LWX really performs. If Nuguri...
They have.
Shuni, nice hook.
Yeah, they've been able to catch out Luyan. He was so close to finishing his back. That just feels so bad.
And now for FPX, they're going to start being able to push into the enemy jungle, get some deep vision down, and then you're enabling Nuguri to take these bottom side turrets. You can see Tien playing around him right now. Shuni's the one getting down the deep vision, and this should at least be a tier 1 turret. You'll probably be even able to get some damage down onto the tier 2, and you know, you could threaten Fofo more. Rift Herald is up. My guess is RA should be the team to look for that one, as both Cube and iBoy are making their way over now, and we're going to keep having these cross-map plays continue.
And there's been an explosion in the gold difference, and it's not even off of kills, right? Like, you're now almost 5,000 gold in the lead for FPX, and it's because, you know, mid lane has exploded now in a CS differential for Duende, and now you're still getting the explosion from Nuguri. You're starting to catch back up in other avenues as well, and with this passive gold lead that's developed, it's really hard for RA to take fights into this, and especially moments like this where you're just not expecting it.
Right, it's one of those things where Shuni probably was definitely not in vision of Luyan. Most of that time flashes it immediately and goes for the hook, and by the time any response can come out, it's pretty much too late. So overall, nice play coming out from this rookie support who was just part of the Fun Plus organization. RA still going to be the ones to find tempo to look for this Herald play. Cube is sitting in base because he has TP.
Oh, he's over the wall. As we do see, it is secured by Luyan, but the fight afterwards, Wild Growth already used, but he might be going down. No, he's still alive. No, he finally dies. LWX in the backline goes down as well. And now you've got resets coming out. Heartbreaker doing some work. As Cube is still alive. Can't find the last one, but they will take down everybody but Nuguri. You see a soul, you take a soul, and RA take the fight.
And Cube was the one who fell behind. Cube was the one getting abused in the laning phase, but he found the resets. He specifically got on top of Tien at first to be able to chain that into a magnificent team fight victory. Hung and iBoy as well, kiting out the fight.
Oh,
and
Nuguri!
still a goal. Oh, Jesus,
that's the unofficial
Nuguri.
ace. Unofficial
Getting
ace right
destroyed.
there.
Yup, iBoy and Hung picking it up. Not going to be able to turn it into anything with the mid lane turret, but still getting some of that gold lead back. FPX still going to be the ones who lead in terms of gold, but at least closing it out a little bit for RA. It's going to feel good, and I think we saw a lot of the strengths of RA's team composition in that fight compared to what we know of what FPX has.
It's just crazy to me to see this back and forth going this way in FPX when we seemingly talk about leads, advantages, team fight potentials for them and the way that they've been able to play. You get it responded to immediately. This was RA taking the fight over the Rift Herald, getting all the pieces they wanted and moving forward after the craziness that was the beginning of that fight.
Yeah, and we see the heal coming out to keep him alive. I think the important thing is that Tien did go down, the Trundle ultimate doing so much work, and Cube able to find the resets off the back of that. Sure, Nuguri finds Fofo, but then Cube able to get a good Heartbreaker reset and take Fofo out of the fight. Nuguri having to flash over the wall, and that just cements it to where you're able to finish the rest of the fight as the Viego. Nuguri just catching the wave too far forward. I mean,
the Gale
Kog'Maw
Force,
has the Gale
man.
Force, able to hit the ultimate as well numerous times. And
wait, they had exactly the same amount of damage done. They had exactly 38,
might be able to get an inhib off this.
I can't believe it. I know I'm looking at damage numbers being the same. That's just craziness. But FPX have found the inhib tower and have also found Cube. Oh my God!
And
they also kill iBoy. Can they just snowball this? They have also minions in the mid lane. They've got to be careful though, as they have a big minion wave pushing top as well against them. Dragon is on the board. This is second dragon of the game for FPX as they started up.
I'm surprised that FPX don't want to all in for the bottom lane inhibitor. I don't know if it goes back to the logic of, you know, if they take bottom lane inhibitor, it just gives the side of RA like guaranteed gold, right? Because the wave will always push into them. That there's no way for them to prevent that. But at the same time, I feel like opening that up, especially this time around 19 minutes where Baron will come up soon, could have been decent for them. Instead, just going to back off. They're going to take the Infernal Drake, start making their way towards topside, get the deep vision down in the enemy jungle. And luckily for them, even with Cube having one nice fight, still being someone they can catch off guard. And I think Lilian, I mean, you can even see it from the KDA, has been the player that has been very easy for FPX to abuse.
Yeah, it's just hard to get away once you're inside the fight as a Trundle, unless you have the cooldowns necessary, the angle necessary as well. But it's just crazy to me that we were having this discussion over and over again, where it's like, RA, oh my god, you take these fights, oh my goodness, you can actually do this. And then FPX are like, we'll take some of that gold back, we'll take this lead back, we'll take that inhib tower down in bot lane as well. And it's just the give and take that we've seen all series long.
The give and take, just kind of the stylistic mismatch of Rare, Adam, and FPX. Two teams we've seen play together before. They did play against each other in spring playoffs after RA did take down Invictus Gaming. Will be an interesting matchup if we see it once again in summer, as both teams already posturing to take the fight. FPX doing a nice job of controlling vision. Cube did just answer side wave on top, so you're going to expect Nuguri to go back to the top wave, push that one out, go back to river, and you can look to try and bring RA into a disadvantageous position once again. No dragging up for a few minutes, but FPX have always been a team that have been a little bit more, you know, feisty, have had a little bit more oomph to look for these fights, as Tien just living close to the edge.
He definitely is. Oh my goodness.
Big damage.
It's an accelerated shock blast to the face, taking a ton of damage off that one. And now the dance is around this Baron, Lyric, as both teams positioning around it, trying to get the vision down. But now FPX have the priority over the pit here. They're actually over in RA's jungle, just trying to get some of that vision pressed up a little bit more and get these lanes pushing.
Yeah, still just defaulting back to setup. The push and pull is still coming in. They have wave stacking in bottom side as well, so that's being pinged out right now. The side of RA is going to have to answer that at some point, but fullbacks coming out, probably sitting on a little bit of gold themselves, and RA just aren't taking the bait, right? RA have been sitting in mid. They haven't been walking deep into the enemy jungle. They've only really walked in shallow places. Like right now, we can see Lilian farming wolves. But FPX is going to continuously default to this play. I feel like for FPX, though, you're not going to be able to force RA out until you actually do commit to the Baron.
Yeah, I feel like there's that teetering on a knife's edge here, where it's like, if you full commit, it can go one of two ways. You bait yourself into a position that's just not very good, or you force them into a position that they're not comfortable in. As we do see, there's pings already coming down. Baron is started by FPX as they're off to the races. The Baron already about quarter down. This is a moment changer for both these teams. And Xunyi is the first one to get caught here. You got the TP now coming in, but the Baron's already gone. Now FPX, do they want to dip or do they want to fight? As they will actually opt into the fight. They've already lost one. The reset's there, but Cube goes down right afterwards. You've got to focus Eyeboy. Fofo gets almost obliterated by Doinb. There's the accelerated shock blast and huge damage from the members of FPX as the health bars are just gone for Rare Adam.
And Nuguri and Doinb are the ones stepping up. Fofo's going to try and get away. It's LWX and Tien the ones this time trying to find these kills. Doinb's coming from base, though. There is nowhere for him to go.
Too good. LWX knows the distance, knows the damage. Can they follow it up? Doinb gets the kill. By the way, I know it's a full ace for FPX. Did you see that damage coming out for Doinb? Like, I want to see a damage graph from that, because the dude is melting people's faces.
Yeah, we're gonna see here. It starts off with Xunyi getting picked off, is able to try to turn it around, but we're gonna see on the opposite side where you're talking about Doinb dishing out a ton of damage. LWX having a respectable damage number right now as well.
Look at that.
Pretty much everyone on the side of FPX, because then we see here accelerated shock blast, bam, Lilian getting sniped down by Nuguri. Just one QW combo, bringing Eyeboy from 100% HP to like 20% HP. And then back on the Rift, FPX are pushing in. Dragon is live. This should be a free dragon for FPX.
Oh my
Mazel,
god.
is it surprising?
I mean,
this
it's
man
not surprising.
has
I
been
just
having
wanted to see the
renaissance.
facts. I wanted to make
You
sure
just wanted
that
the
like
facts.
I wasn't seeing things. It was factual. It happened. You see the damage numbers right there, the damage percentages across your screen, and that will just be Dragon Soul point secured by FPX.
Yeah, and now they're going to be able to push into the base. They do have those Baroned up minions. We can keep seeing Nuguri just throw out that poke. Doonby here as well.
Oh my
Holy!
god! Doonby just ended the game! That shockwave is it! You're dashed mentally after that game, and after that one play from the mid lane show-making king of FPX, Doinby and the rest of the Phoenix squad will be able to take this series out. The RA are just out of it here as 5 members strong of FPX barrel down on their base. They'll lose one. LWX doesn't need to be there to crack the champagne because FPX take the series.
I can't believe that game just ended. We came out of nowhere. We came out of a replay.
Look at
They're
that
posturing
smile.
Aggressively. They're sieging down RA's base. And then out of nowhere, RA decides, let's go for it. And man, that shockwave from Doinby, it was just so clean. It was beautiful to set up for that ending. And this was a very back and forth series. This is definitely one of the ones you are excited to see in a best of 5 format. We've seen it before, but seeing it again would definitely be fun. Seems like FPX just edging out RA right now. It goes back to a conversation we had earlier in the series that FPX probably being a good stylistic matchup into RA. Other than like the big points, right? Like Doinby stepping up, Shuni coming in. I think the first person to highlight off of this game specifically is Nuguri, because Nuguri has been a player that I think has been decently criticized by like the community of split, by analysts, by experts. Hasn't had the best split, has had like some good games, has had some good moments, but this time around Nuguri coming in, performing well against RA, I think is someone who, you know, is either a Nuguri fan or a fan of that Damwon team that won Worlds, or even just an FPX fan. I think it's great to see.
And I just have to say, I know it may be a small point to everybody but me, but seeing those smiles on FPX's faces, seeing the swagger on Doinby right there after having that insane shockwave, but just in general, and then to pull on my heartstrings a little bit, just to see the teamwork, the at least compassion that is displayed on stage to Shuni, who is in his first series, right, is coming into the squad, and to be having so much love thrown his way, seemingly, at least on the stage, it feels really good to see that team composition at least coming together.
Yeah, it was great, right? And I mean, Shuni made mistakes, he got cut out, but at the same time, he still was being fearless. He wasn't like playing scared or timid like we've seen some people play. I think Yu Yanja was a player when he was on Top Esports, right? Just played like very safe, wasn't going for a ton of risks. Shuni came in today, and you see he is going for crazy risks. He's not some rookie that is being timid when he is surrounded by world champions and by great players, and it was cool to see. And it's going to be a question mark for FPX of just the roster as a whole going forward. We don't know how long Chris is going to be out or when he's going to be back, or if they're going to keep this iteration up, or maybe we see Shalahu back, or maybe they bring Jingy back up. Who knows? We have no idea. But when you have Doinby performing like this, it doesn't really matter. It goes back to Doinby does have the ability to 1v9 some games. Doinby is in the conversation for best mid in the LPL and one of the best mid laners in the world. And he's a man who can pull it out on champions that aren't meta, like the Orianna, or he's a guy who can, you know, bring out the Viegos and the Akalis and the Lee Sins we've seen so many times and solidify those wins.
I still think it's cool that we set up this whole series as like the mid lane showdown, and we had pop-up performances from both of them across the series, right? And the fact that they were, at least in the last one, where, you know, Doinby is able to take the Orianna that Fofo looked so damn good on in game number 2 and do the exact same, if not even more ruthless than Fofo was in that one. And you look at the gold graph, it's a little bit wonky, but FPX will take those wins. It was such a clean and quick finish, 25-25.
I mean, I just couldn't even believe the game ended there. I did not expect the game to end at all. Doinby fighting that shockwave, and I mean, your call was perfect. It's like Doinby just ended the game. Doinby just ended the game with that one press of a button.
Look at the damage done, man.
His damage numbers looked unnatural. They looked insane. I don't know what he was doing. It looked like with Trundle Ultimate, it looked like he had his own Orianna Trundle Ultimate as his passive, where he's just stealing away all the damage from the enemy team, and then bam, does the abilities. And yeah, the QW that did 80% of iBoy's HP.
That's just ridiculous.
That one I think is the one that blew my mind the most.
Yeah, it just feels really bad as an ADC in any of those moments. Where, like, as an Orianna, there's so much range, and like, there's nowhere for you to step up without getting your health bar obliterated. And I have to say, it's very fitting that we're gonna get Doinb being the MVP of that final game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone expected anything different. He is leading in the MVP vote. I think he was tied with, Kanavi before this series, but now sitting in first place with the 8 MVPs. Came in, even starting off from early on. I actually forgot about this play with how hyped some of the other plays were, of just being able to find ways to set up for those early skirmishes. Gets involved in the team fights here, and this is the one where you really see the amount of his damage come out.
So
doing a good job weaving in and out of the fight.
I agree the iBoy one is crazy, but like the fact that Fofo actually has like almost 2,000 health there and he still almost gets one shot, like that's just ridiculous, man. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. That is a good point.
Oh, here it
Fofo
is.
going down is incredible, and this one just came out of nowhere. I just didn't expect this one to come out. Doinb saw the angle, he found the play, and he was able to end the game off that one. FPX, let's remember how their trajectory went. They were at an all-time high coming into the split. They did lose 2 series in the middle, but now bouncing back. Man, Maza, I'm so excited. Who do we get our interview from?
We get it from the MVP himself. We're going to be sitting over to an interview with Doinb.
Hello everyone, welcome to the interview, and I'm standing by with our super carry Doinb after getting a 2-1 victory against Raw Atom. So congratulations on today's win, and I believe there's so many LPL fans are waiting for the main lane battle between you and Fofo. So tell me, how do you feel about this matchup and the opponent's team Raw Atom? They're very famous with their mid-jungle synergy. So what's the targeted strategies from FPX in today's game? 那首先恭喜你们今天2-1战胜了 RA。那很多人也是很期待我们硬币哥和 Fofo 的一个中路交锋。那今天面对上感觉怎么样？而且同时 RA 也是一个很擅长一个中野联动的队伍嘛。然后所以说今天在实际的游戏内有没有去特别的针对他们一下？
首先今天打 RA 其实压力是很大的，因为 RA 是第2名嘛，打我们之前是第2名，然后我们是第4名，我们最近状态不是那么的好。但是其实我觉得可能是因为最近训练赛打得比较好吧，然后我自己就特别。 我是很有信心的。上次打完老干爹比赛，我就采访的时候说了，我们打2A 的时候，只要我们状态好，我觉得我们能赢下这场比赛。然后今天赢了嘛。然后还有一个是最近 RA 确实他们比较喜欢打中野，可能是因为这个版本很多中单比较好配合吧，跟打野那些很好配合，中单萨拉斯、中单药剂这种。但我觉得我们中野配合也不会输给他们，所以其实我们是不怕跟他们打架，就是他们敢跟我们打的话，我们就跟他们打，所以我们就赢了。
To be honest, before today's best of 3, we really have a much pressure on our shoulder because opponent's team Raw Atom, they are on the 2nd place on the standings, and we are the 4th place. And currently, we didn't manage to have that good momentum. But I think in the previous interviews against LGD, I've already told in the Chinese stream that I really have the confidence in these upcoming matchups. I think this may be because currently we have a very good results in all the scrims. So because of this, we were able to have some confidence on ourselves. And in terms of the mid-jungle synergy, I must say the opponent team, they really focus a lot on their mid-jungle. This may be because of this meta, because current meta, we got so many mid-lane champions, including Sylas or LeBlanc. Those champions can have a very good gameplay with the jungler position. So, but I must say, our mid jungles are also very good. We have a very good synergy as well together with Tian. So if they try to play aggressively in the mid jungle, we will do the same thing in the actual game. And definitely we have seen a super good mid jungle synergy today from FPX. And let's talk a bit more about game 1, because game 1 you have picked the Galio in the 4th place, and then just gave you to the mid Galio. So what's the reason for that? Because it's not a very common pick. 那其实说到第一局的话，你也是拿到了一个中单的加里奥嘛，而且是第4手选出来，最后摇到了一个中路，其实并不是一个最近很常登上场的一个选项，所以说能问一下原因会是怎么样的吗？
第一就是因为我觉得其实第1场嘛，然后 RA 大家都知道比较喜欢打中野的，我如果选加里欧的话，其实 我可以自己玩，他也可以不用管我，然后他可以专心发挥，我们就等打团就行。还有一个是4楼选加里奥的话可以摇摆嘛，然后我们就选了之后，后面就看了一下辅助有更好的选择，然后我们就给辅助，也不是说 counter 就换个辅助，然后加里奥就去中路嘛。然后这样的话，因为上路跟下路其实对线都有优势，都有线权。中路我就看团战，因为对面阵容手比较短，而且那几个阵容被加里奥 counter 吧，所以我就这样选，我觉得效果还蛮好的。
Because this is our first game, we play against Real Atom, so I think Galio can be a very good pick. Like because with Galio, the Tian's a jungler position, he may not like pay more attention to the mid, so he can do his own farmings. And also because in the 4th place, the Galio can be a very good flex picks, and then we can have a kind of counter pick and some better choices in the 5th pick to the support positions to this Rakan. And also because in game 1, the opponent's team they have so many short range champions, so I think Galio can be a very good counter pick toward these compositions. And also because our top and bot lanes, we got the lane domination, so I think Galio can be a very good choices for game 1. And we have noticed after game 1, you have just put your arm on the shoulder of Shenyi, the rookie. And I'm very curious about what the contents of your talking, because we have realized that you were talking to him after game 1. 那其实，在第一局结束以后，我们也注意到你有揽着我们的小辅助神医的肩膀，然后跟他说了些什么。所以说，我们也比较好奇，可能能跟我们稍微透露一下谈话的一个内容吗？
我是就这么说吧，因为之前的话就北传，上次的话可能是小老虎跟我们的静一，然后这次是我们的辅助沈一，就大家都其实这也可以这么说吧，可以来救我们吧。然后其实他们压力是特别大吧。然后我就打完那把就跟他说，因为他打到重骑吧，然后突然就有一波是被抓了，但也去被抓，然后从那波开始他一直在说一些其实是很没用的话，因为压力很大，然后就不知道该说什么嘛。然后我当时跟他说的是，其实游戏内我跟他说没事，不要想那么多，我们就想下波怎么做就好了。然后打完下来，我觉得他可能心态上可能出了点小问题吧，所以我就跟他说没事，我们不是赢了嘛，然后我们就第2把想想怎么赢就好了，然后后面也就这些吧。
Because I think for the previous matchup, Xiaolahu and Jingyi, and for today's matchup, Shenyi, I must say that those players he some kind of help our FPX. So there's so much pressure on their shoulders. And in game 1, I think Shenyi got one mistake. So he got caught around the jungle area. So after that, he was so feel so sorry toward us and say something in the actual game. So after that game, I tried to console him to let him to focus on the next matchup, because anyways we got the win in game 1, so we should focus on the next matchup. So I just say some consoling words to Shenyi. And I want to talk a bit more about the game 3, because in game 3, you guys take a very good opportunities to rush at Baron, and after that you got an ace to the opponents, and because of that you were able to got the MVP, your ace MVP. So tell us more about that teamfight scene. 那其实第3局的话，你们也是找到了一个很好的机会 ，rush 掉了大龙，然后在那以后直接团灭了对面，而且也是凭借着很好的一个团战发挥，我们的对应币也是拿到了第8次 MVP 嘛。所以说，能不能和我们分享一下那波团战发生了什么？
首先，大龙那波团是因为我们看到露露回家了嘛，然后那个位置我们视野都做好了，大龙那边，然后对面蓝 buff 那边，所以他们不敢过来，而且杰斯跟我的装备都特别好，只要有一个人敢过来，那个人就会死，所以我们就直接热吸掉大龙嘛。打完大龙之后，后面那个位置其实我也是只大了一个。